Gundam Style, and welcome to WoW Cool Robot. It's been a minute. Happy to be back. I'm Julia. I will be your co-host for yet another episode of this lovely thing we call life. I use she and her pronouns.
I am Jared, or Jay, and I'm
Do I have any co-hosts?
Very happy to be back. Happy New Year to everyone listening up to date with the podcast. And if you're listening along on the backlog, also Happy New Year, regardless of what month it is. Max, I'll send it to you.
Hi, I'm Max. I use he, him pronouns. I missed podcasting.
I wouldn't go that far. I don't know if I've missed it, but I have missed the two of you, so I'll take it.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Podcasting with friends. That's what it's all about. Regrettably, though, the show...
Oh, this is a program, huh?
The show seeks to wear us down.
I don't know what you're talking about.
From my understanding, that is not a shared opinion. So we'll see about that.
What? Okay, hold on. The fucking sound is back. I see someone is dragging, like, I don't know, what the fuck are
they
a
corpse?
Doing? No. Okay, you know what it is? They have like one of those the metal, like, two-wheel, like, box lifter things.
Oh, okay.
They're not lifting it, though, so the fucking metal lip is just dragging along the ground as they haul boxes back and forth from inside to the dumpster outside.
Incredible.
Hey, that's not how that's supposed to work, guys.
I
believe it's called a dolly, by the way. And another name for dolly, you can shorten it to doll, and the thing's got wheels, which would make it mobile. Wow, there you go.
Wow.
You know what? That was pretty fucking good.
Thank you.
That was pretty fucking good. All right, well, without any further ado, let's get this train rolling with new mobile report Gundam Wing episode 43. Target Earth. Sally Po arrives on the Peacemillion with the rest of the Gundam team with her. All 5 pilots are finally reunited. However, there isn't much time to catch up as Oz captures a space colony and uses it as collateral to negotiate with White Fang, demanding the return of Libra. As they broadcast their demands, Troa sees that the colony Oz captured is where Catherine and the rest of the circus are performing at. He gets in Wing Zero and flies off, determined to save her. As he fights, he gets overwhelmed by the Zero system, but Katra is able to snap him out of it right before he would have destroyed the colony. Despite taking out Oz, White Fang still uses Libra to fire, but not at the colony. At Earth! Milliardo has made his declaration of battle to Treize as the pieces fall into place for the final battle.
Heyo, I forgot where we left off, and seeing the recap at the beginning of the episode with Dorothy flying up and being like, Mr. Milliardo, I want to be on your side. This is going to be a war humanity will never forget. I was like, fuck it, back.
We're back, baby! And the fact that she's wearing the same fucking outfit.
I don't understand. She really just wanted to make sure, like, he couldn't say no. Yeah. So he had
dress for the job you want, not the job you have.
Yeah, exactly.
It's body mirroring, but with outfits.
God.
Yeah. It's insane. It's nuts. This is the episode that made me sort of look at the show and be like, wait a minute. Have I been tricked?
Yes, and you have.
The answer is yes.
This is the Retrace's trick. He got you to fall for it, hook, line, sinker. But it's so I cannot believe how much just seeing the beginning of this episode, like Peacemillion gets approached by some craft from behind. Sally Po is in, and Noin's like, "Oh, it's Sally!" Like, hell yeah! And Sally's just like, "I got some friends you might want to meet," and all of the Gundam boys are finally together again. It's wonderful. I'm so happy.
It's something I've wanted for so long.
I know.
And it's like, it's really nice, but at the same time, it's like, wow, this episode really does some stuff.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
It's like, so the only other time we saw all 5 of the Gundam pilots together was after they had, like, attacked one of the Alliance, like, supply depots really early on.
Pretty much.
And I don't even know if they got out of their Gundams then, but they got out of their Gundams now. And I'm like, oh, the boys are reunited. And I took a minute and I'm like, they don't really, like, have anything in common to talk about here or, like, a shared experience. Certainly some of them do, but all 5 of them together as a group, I realize there's just, like...
There's no camaraderie about it.
There's
like,
nothing there.
Well, I really disagree.
They are interesting characters separately, but nothing nothing changes when you put them
That's-
together.
I mean, as an entire team, you're right. There's not a lot of cohesiveness there. There have been moments. It's Duo and Katra. It's Katra Troa. It's Troa and Hiro. It's Hiro and Duo. Like, there are moments that kind of tie them all together. It's not cohesive. I definitely agree. And Wuh-oh is definitely just like a loose thread. But it's really nice to have them in one spot, and it comes together in the next couple episodes, which I think works kind of to its favor. They're not just immediately like perfectly cohesive. They're not the fucking Power Rangers. Like there's a moment where they meet up and Hiro and Duo are like happy to see well, Duo is happy to see Hiro, and they're talking, and he's like, Duo's like, you have to be insane to pilot the Wing Zero, and Hiro's like, nobody said you had piloted it. And Duo's just like, well, then why are you piloting it? And Hiro's like, I'm fucking insane.
I'm the Joker, baby!
And there's like this really sentimental moment too where Tro sees Heavy Arms on a piecemeal, and like he's like, that's my Gundam. He remembers that.
Yeah, he remembers.
It's so good.
It's hard to forget that fucking thing, though, to be fair. It's like a walking McDonald's.
It's one of two that doesn't change at all in the entire show. So
yeah, I think it just gets like a little bit, couple of like thruster bells on his backpack, like that, and Sandrock are just like the same. Yeah. So, oh, gosh, let's see. Yeah, so you know, they're reuniting, as loose as that term is right now. We get this notification that a whole squad of Tauruses is approaching a colony. We cut to the circus. Catherine is like feeding the lions, and the ringleader approaches her, and this is like when the Tauruses invade and like set foot in the colony, and Oz is like totally taken over. And we learn that they're basically using this entire colony as collateral, as like a hostage, because they want their space station back. And it's like, kinda, I get it. Yeah, which is like, it's so fucking funny how easy it was for White Fang to take Libra, because literally everyone on that space station was like, hey, I just got an idea. Fuck this. It was
immediate revolt from the inside.
It was that easy.
It was wild.
Yeah. Like, Tubarov was literally the only guy who was still like part of Oz at that point.
And all the Gundam boys are like and kind of assessing the situation, and everyone's just basically like, okay, Oz is a bunch of wimps. Like, fuck them. They're trying to make this power play, and they have like, basically no stake in it. They're just taking a bunch of hostages because they're desperate. And everyone is like, okay, well, let's see what the leader of White Fang is going to do. And Dorothy and Miliardo are just like they're figureheads more or less, but they're still talking and making a decision in front of Cans, even though Cans does not agree with it at all. And they're just like, fuck it, we're gonna fire on the colony and just wipe out everyone.
Like, yeah, this is the start of the bit that genuinely frustrated me to the point where I like almost had to turn everything off. It's so not what Milwardo has been built up to be like this entire time, in a way that like frustrated me to watch his characterization shift so drastically as soon as he like gets established as like the commander. I'm air quoting here, the commander of White Fang, basically. I don't know, like it was this, and then I think it was a bit later. I don't know.
What happened was they looked at Miliardo, and it's not enough for them to look at him and see a Char clone. They just want him to be Char again, to do the exact same things Char does. Like, the end of this episode, is like when just like kind of the weight of everything hit me. I was like, oh fuck, this ending's gonna suck. Like, that's when I think I realized, I was like, oh god, we're like heading towards the cliff and I cannot get off the bus. Oh god. This damn show. It is really funny that no one fucking cares about Cans, though. Like, this dude is just there and no one listens to him. I think it's so funny.
Hey, nice organization you have. It's mine now.
Maybe it was because of the time we stepped away, but there was setup that got Zex into this position that kind of makes sense than just like jumping into it, and it's like, oh, he's doing Char's counterattack now, sort of. But I like, It's still not great. I do agree. I wish they had gotten his character more correct to what they established earlier on. But to where he is now, I think there's like kind of a narrative through line. It's just a really kind of flimsy one.
Yeah, like, not to jump too far ahead, but Zex/Milliardo doing violence to ensure peace, yeah, that, like, we've seen, that's what he does. The fact that the scale of it jumps up to such an insane degree that he literally is doing Char's counterattack, I'm like, fuck off.
So after they say they're going to fire the Libra cannon, it's the new weapon, do you get it? Dorothy does some like whack ass shit, like the deaths of the colony members are going to be shared throughout history as a necessary sacrifice. She being, Joker Dorothy, etc. But then we pop back to the Gundam team on Peace Million, and Troa is seeing footage of the colony being like held hostage by Oz, and he recognizes Catherine's face in the crowd, and immediately like dips to the repair bay, sees that Heavy Arms is getting work. Like, fuck it, I'm taking Hero Suit. He owes me anyways.
Yep.
Yeah. And, like, Wu-Fei is like, fuck you guys, I'm not going. Only Du and Katra head out, and even Hero's like, I got something to do in the other room. You guys will be fine, right?
Yeah, and it's funny. Wu-Fei's like, there's literally no reason for me to go in right now. Like, fuck no.
I mean, to be fair, we know that Wu-Fei is only there to fight either Zex or Trace. Or women, yeah. Yeah, Wu-Fei's like, I saw a woman in the crowd. I think it's good that Oz is going to destroy this colony. And also, of course, the reason, I was just going to say, the reason that Troa gets in Wing Zero is because we haven't hit the full, all 5 characters getting fucked up by Zero System yet.
Absolutely.
We got to meet that quota somehow.
Yeah. Back on Earth, then, we get Trey's getting filled in about what Oz is doing to this colony. And Trey's is basically like, Oz has changed a lot since I got grounded. I don't get, they are not members of Oz. And then we got to the colony where the members are like, what do you mean Trey discharged us? Can he do that?
It's so fucking good.
It's so fucking funny.
It's like, wait, we got fired? Oh, fuck, dude.
Did some stupid shit and your boss saw it on camera and immediately fired you and was like, you are not associated.
He does the fucking Apprentice at them.
He does.
Yes.
He does Mr. Incredible and Boy. You're not affiliated with me.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so good.
And that's why we don't get a Leo that wears capes until after all this bullshit.
That is
so
almost literally a lot, but yeah.
Great.
Back in the colony, Oz is like they're forming lines for the civilians to basically, use them as hostages. Catherine and fucking P.T. Barnum, they overhear them talking about the Gundams.
He's the ringleader, for the record, too. She never says, no one ever says this man's name, but no one calls him ringleader. They call him manager.
I mean, he's P.T. Barnum. He's Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman.
He is huge Jack
He is
man.
the worst showman.
He's huge jacked man. He
Don't get me.
I don't know. He's got a good bit here where he gets fucking clocked.
That is
he gets fucking
pistol
whipped.
I wish I could do that to Hugh Jackman.
And we get
the worst showman. That shit
Oh
sucks.
no.
Stick to X-Men, Hugh. I haven't seen The Greatest Showman. I can't speak on this. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm not putting a fucking. I have my fingers in too many pies. I can't get into another horse race about this.
Actually,
I'm staying silent on this topic for a very specific reason. Don't worry
it's
about
fine.
it.
I'm a clown. I'm already
Julia designated as the Greatest Showman.
Are
like
you
her.
telling me you don't
no.
put on white face paint and a red nose when you record this podcast?
No, that's just you. I
think it might just be me.
I think setting up my microphone and pop filter kind of act as like a surrogate for that, so it's the same.
You're too
thing.
close to your microphone.
We need our sort of daily dose of ideology here, because Catherine looks directly into the camera and says, everyone knows Oz is in the wrong here, but no one's willing to fight about it, except Troa. And the ringleader says, he's a brave boy, and the whole, it's just the fucking, what will you stand for?
God, yeah.
And we cut to Brave Boy, who's deep in the soup having a terrible time.
He's blasting Tauruses, but he's flashing in and out of visions that the Zero System are giving him. And it is there's a really sick moment where as he's hallucinating, he sees Catherine and fires a shot at her. It ends up being a Taurus that he blows up, but that laser goes and like almost, if not does, hit the colony. I can't quite remember. But,
it doesn't. It's very close.
So
to it,
he
probably melts a couple of plates.
Absolutely getting overwhelmed by the Zero system and starts to like
he is deep in the soup.
His sight of what's actually going on.
But then,
Sweetest boy ever.
Little catcher to the rescue. What happens, Julia?
So he does zoom in on his own little robot, and he gives Troa a bit of a speech about like, don't forget what you're fighting for, the people you're going to protect, or trying to protect rather. And sweet Troa starts getting flashbacks to memories that he hasn't had since 12
this
episodes
moment
ago.
rips.
Yes, since not very long ago.
Rips,
No.
It's really good.
It's really good.
It
I
is
quite
good.
like this.
Not using
I got a little emotional
type
about it.
powers.
I love these
it's
boys.
just the power of friendship, so it's extremely good.
Yeah.
There's-
I mean, I'm a sucker for any moment where a character's like, I remember
Yeah.
everything. And you're just like, fuck yeah, you do!
So it's really fucking good. And then we find out that Death Scythe has actually made its way inside the colony in fucking amazing moment where a tourist just like loses an arm and then a couple other ones that are standing around just disassemble. And then, like from the cloud of smoke, Death Scythe appears, it opens the wings, it like vents out the chest.
So fucking
It's
hardcore.
so fucking sick. What a fucking entrance!
Like, the only thing missing here is Death Scythe doing the fucking anime, like unsheathing your sword for a split second, because that's literally what happens here.
If
Nothing personnel,
Duo
kid.
would make the Death
That's
Scythe,
something
he
Duo would say too.
God.
Yeah, Duo watched Gundam Seed Astray and like lost his fucking mind at
Yeah.
Red Frame's katanas.
There's a reason I
Like,
have that
what?
one built.
I got a fucking katana this whole time.
I mean, I don't know. I think a fucking scythe is equally
is
as cool
fucking
as a
sick.
katana. Can we
Yeah.
combine the two? Katana scythe? Please?
Souls 4, Elden Ring. Sorry, they're
Elden Ring out in like a
sound
month
like
and a half.
fucking ring weapon though.
Isn't that's like basically what fucking Sister Frida uses
Basically,
against
yeah.
you? God, what a good fight that was.
Wait, Gehrman.
so,
wait, hang on. Wait, Gehrman.
Let's see. We cut
Hang
to.
on.
Fuck! That's just the
Yeah,
burial
the
blade.
burial blade.
Shit! We did
got
it. We did it right. We did it, gamers. So we cut to
Yes.
Libra. Libra's like still getting ready to fire. Rulina approaches. She's like foolishly approaching in the path of the laser.
That
But,
is
you know, it doesn't
not the
matter.
first time she has done it either. Remember when she got between?
No, yeah. Wait, you mean to tell me that Rulina actively and knowingly puts herself in harm's way at
Rulina
every chance
flies
she
between
gets?
the tall
I'm making
geese and the
surprised
heavy
Pikachu
arms
face.
Peacecraft.
I
Rulina
forgot
Hero
about that.
killed this Peacecraft.
Hero, get this clown.
Bailiff?
She's telling Zex, "Hey, brother, can you cut it out, please?" And Zex is like, "No, I'm
Nah.
evil now. I want to
This is
kill."
what I do now. Sorry.
This is one of those moments where it's
It's
just like,
just-
okay, so they have just kind of ignored all of his characterization up until this
You know,
point.
his sister, the number one character he's trying to protect in this entire fucking show, and he's like, I'm gonna kill
she
her.
asks him politely not to fire the Libra cannon. He says, "No, fuck you."
And then,
fires
you know,
an A.
and he says Joe Biden voice, "No, I don't think I will." He just straight up ignores her and fires. Relina's fine.
This is
dodges,
a fucking genuinely, like, all like shitty writing aside, this is a phenomenal moment where he fires the laser. Every colony, all of the Oz troops, all of the Gundam fighters, like the pilots and everyone in space is bracing for impact. They're like, holy fuck, he actually just fired that. And then the fucking laser goes whizzing by the colony, and we see it smash into Earth. Like if you didn't see that coming, that is a hell of a twist. Because
I didn't see it coming. I forgot what the episode was called, and I didn't see it coming.
It is seemingly Wu-Fei and Yui who are like, yeah, this was just a feint. He was fire on Earth.
And
the entire
to be
time.
fair, those are the two people that I think would understand it, because Hero is the tactical mind of this, all things considered, even if like Katra is Spider-Man meme sitting behind desk. And then Wu-Fei is just
Wu-Fei gets it. Wu-Fei gets it.
Wu-Fei read the script.
Yeah,
because the reason Milliardo did it was to challenge
it
Reyes.
is what he would do.
That's the whole thing. It's throwing down the gauntlet in the most dramatic way possible. It's exactly what Wu-Fei would have done in that situation. So the main cannon fires and annihilates, just fucking decimates huge like area of land on Earth. And
we see a bird get fucking vaporized.
It's just fucking.
This is Randy Johnson too.
You know what that bird is? One of the ones that Trey's released.
That shit was Mrs. B, dog.
Up
in heaven.
It's Chekhov's bird.
Chekhov's bird.
Oh God. Like, and everyone is just so, obviously taken aback by this horrific act of terrible violence named by a character whose last name is Peacecraft. Char's here. We did Char's counterattack. Isn't it cool that we're throwing stinky rocks into the earth to create a peaceful future where humanity won't fight anymore? I want to lay down a bit.
But we end on some stuff that... Well, one thing that I do like, and it's that they show that the Libra cannon is like, it's not in good shape. Like that shit hurt Libra silly. Like that shit is super powerful. And then both Milliardo and Dorothy
like shut down and broke the
like the fuck power flickered afterwards. God.
What if the Death Star sucked shit and like hurt itself whenever they fired the cool laser that blew up Alderaan?
I mean, it'd be pretty fucking funny.
Yeah,
it'd be funny.
Hundreds of thousands of engineers working on this massive space station, prepping it to do this one thing, and it does it, and it doesn't fucking work properly.
Tremendous.
I mean, it's for the best.
It's because Tuberon built it, which is also like, thank God they actually had that narrative line that Libra's like, it's like done, but it is not finished. So that I do like that as like a kind of just a cap on Dubrov being a piece of shit who would do anything to get his product turned out regardless of the quality. Fuck capitalists. And then Dorothy and Milliardo talk about how war is fucking awesome and they hive and it sucks and it.
I love the line he says at the end here. He wants to get everything repaired as fast as possible. Because now the most annoying and fearful enemy in the universe is after them.
I do like that.
The Gundams. Yeah. The annoying and fearful are like the two adjectives I use to describe these fun robots.
Mosquitoes that definitely have Ebola or malaria.
Tremendous. See, this is what fucking... God damn it, every week this is what happens. I hate this. Like, the show does some crazy shit, and then I talk about it, and I have fun talking about it, and I was like, maybe it's not so bad after all.
Talking about the show is better than watching the show.
And this is what we talked about for Wheel of Time the other day, because we watched the finale, and the final episode of Wheel of Time Season 1 was not good, but the podcaster's greatest gift is bad media to discuss, because it's so much more fun to dunk on it.
I think it was in Discord earlier today. I was talking about, like, it's not a perfect piece of media because it was trying to be a thing while also kind of getting to like skirt around it's hating 0079, Zeta, Double Zeta, and CCCA all like kind of trying to condense that into one thing, which just you can't. There's too much. Also, while trying to be like kind of a shonen series and not as much of a real robot series, which it was way more that shonen series in like the first half, trying to pull it back to the real robot series now. And it's like this really like disconnect that forms that kind of adds to the overall mess that Gundam Wing already was. And it is so fun to reflect on. It's so fun to talk about and pick apart. And like, yeah, it's wild. Like one of the things that I love about Gundam Wing more than anything else is the just like aesthetic of stuff. Like I think it was Riley was watching IBO today or something, and they were talking about like hard sci-fi. I love that shit. Like, I love Alien and like hard sci-fi with these old ass computers, but some people got that shit into outer space and like punching in codes with your finger weird that you could easily just like a key card for, and using floppy disks even though you're flying giant metal humanoid machine can fly in and out of the atmosphere. Like,
Yeah.
I love all of that stuff. The writing might be garbage most of the time, but like, it's one of those things. Gundam Wing is kind of like a popcorn flick. Like, it's a popcorn show more than anything else. I think that's where I want to land on that.
It's like for a modern analogy, it's what Star Wars sequels did. Like, part of it, the Rian Johnson part, was what I really, really loved about it. And I don't like what J.J. Abrams did, but I can't deny it would be a better product overall if it had that cohesive vision of just one director doing the whole thing. And like, good lord, you can really feel the Gundam production woes surrounding this one with their switching directors and all that.
Very subtle, to be fair, but like, especially in the back half, there are...
It's a lot less subtle in these
There's
episodes
a lot more detail on
specifically.
the characters. There's a lot of like longer shots of the actual Gundams where they're a little more detailed. It's
also
it's wild.
In the opening, it's vastly.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's super noticeable there too. The way they have the main cast's faces done, it's like almost jarring how different it is from Wild Beat Communication and like the way they're depicted in that. But Song Fox, can't complain about that.
Song Beat's
like
total ass.
But I think just Communication is better. I'm sorry. Even after a break from it,
it's okay.
Whatever.
They're both good.
I think I agree with you. I think just Wild Beat Communication is
having something fresh,
but it's also
especially
very
this late
good.
in the game, is nice. Rhythm and Motion is good. I'm not saying it's not good. It's just not preference.
You needed something new after 40
absolutely.
fucking
Yeah,
episodes.
we can't have the entire goddamn show. And I mean, first Gundam's entire show had just one opening, but that was like the only Gundam show to really have just one opening. At least one 50 episode Gundam show to have one opening. So fucking IBO has 4 openings. Anyway, shall we talk about episode 44?
Oh wait, that's me.
That's you.
Episode 44. Go forth, Gundam team. Relina, now on board Libra, attempts to reason with Zex, but is instead imprisoned by Dorothy. We get a fun bit where Dorothy hands Relina a gun and tries to say, "Don't you wish you could go sicko mode?" Hiro talks to Catra saying, "Hey, I can't be in this next battle," and installs a Zero system in Sandrock. Zex adapts the system so that Dorothy can control all of the mobile dolls, which has been an interesting adaptation, trying to see like the way they battle being so vastly different than they have in the past. Dorothy has the upper hand against our sweet Gundam boys until Catra eventually turns on that Zero system that Hiro gave him and is able to turn the tide of the battle.
Is that Dorothy? She's got a gun! Blah, 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 blah.
Joke. I was gonna wait till we got there, but fucking... I definitely made the same joke when Relina had a gun previously, and then the fact that she doesn't take it means I can't make it again as much as I want to. But, this scene, I think this...
I mean, I'm pretty sure I've done the same Beyond Two World twice, so I think you're allowed.
Oh no!
This episode opens with Relina and Miliaro, Peacecraft, Brun's sister, in the same room for, I'm pretty sure, the first time in the entire show's run. Big asterisk, but I'm not sure, and I didn't do the legwork to find out, but...
No, you know what? You're right, because I think the only time she's, like, been in the presence of him...
She's been in, like, a different spaceship and shit.
Yeah, I think the closest she ever got to him was when she was, like, hanging out of the helicopter plane or whatever, when they were fighting in Antarctica.
Absolutely. I think that is the closest time they've ever been.
God, this dysfunctional fucking family.
Miliaro basically just says, like, humanity needs to come to space. And Relina's like, so you're just going to kill everyone who doesn't? And he's like, well, people don't have to come to space. If they die, it's their fault, right? And Relina's just like...
He's just fucking doing Char's counterattack. I hate this.
Belief. And she's just like, who the fuck are you? Your last name is Peacecraft. I can't believe, like... I cannot believe you are acting like you are deciding to just annihilate the Earth for whatever your reasons are.
Like, the whole thing was protecting the Sank Kingdom, protecting Earth. Like,
yeah.
And now it's this 180 where, oh, no, it's space time, baby. It's like,
I'm evil now.
way.
The Earth, it's right there.
It's right there. Use that one.
And like, it almost seems as if Miliardo like can understand, oh shit, like she's not buying any word of this. So he just like tries to hug her, you know, like siblings do. And she just is like, she doesn't even react. She's just like, I don't know if I'm being held by the arms of Miliardo, Peacecraft, or Zex Marquise. And she's like, fuck yeah, girl. God. It's just like, this guy, this fucking guy.
Yeah.
I like him, but come on.
I may have zoned out for a second. I apologize. Did you mention that?
Yes, I mentioned the hug.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So afterwards, like, Miliardo, you know, nothing came of this conversation, so he kind of like sends, really no way. He asks Dorothy to take her to a room. Dorothy and Relina leave, and he asks Cans if he's weak, and Cans is like, I wouldn't have made you leader if you didn't have anyone to protect. And it's just, what a fucking wild thing to say immediately after. He's like, I think I'm gonna blow up the Earth for fun.
As a treat.
What are you protecting? Your sister that you tried to kill 10 minutes ago?
Really has stuck in my head is he's like, oh yeah, I'm going to blow up the Earth, and it's so cartoonishly evil that it feels like there's no fucking meat behind it. We literally watched him shoot a massive laser and destroy this huge swath of land, and it still doesn't really feel like it matters. Almost, it's bizarre.
Yeah, it really feels like the show is kind of freaking out and having to scoot character arcs ahead to what they want them to be before the finale. Just it's everything happens so much. Let's see. We cut to the Gundam gang. They're all talking about their next move. They're in like a sort of, it reminds me a lot of that one like little cafeteria room on the Argama.
Yeah, okay.
They're all chilling. There's plants there. Wu-Fei is like,
he's just fucking floating.
I love that scene. So Wu-Fei just like stiff as a board, arms crossed, eyes closed, 45 degrees to the side in the air.
In the room. He's just like, he's vibing.
Moisturized, staying in his lane.
His crops are watered. His skin is thriving.
About the next
he's good to go.
Oh Lord!
Oh no!
God, I fucking hate Wu-Fei so much.
Misogynist to tweet later.
This is the only thing he does ever that I like. Like the cool shit he does Gundam, does not compare to this. This is my favorite thing he does because it's hard.
Yeah, because he doesn't open his mouth.
Yeah, so the things Wu-Fei does in Shenlong are cool because it's Shenlong doing things, not Wu-Fei.
Yeah.
Like Wu-Fei is a person
of his life
sucks
resides
so
in that
shit.
Gundam, so it is her that is doing.
Yeah,
those
it's
cool
all
things.
otaku.
Every time Shenlong takes two robot's head in its like dragon arms, that's cool as shit. Is not Wu-Fei doing it?
No, that's girl power.
Is Shenlong and Kron a girl boss? I think yes. I think yes.
Write it down.
I think he's a girl boss. Gosh. Wu-Fei is the gaslight and gatekeep half, and Shenlong and Ultron are the girl boss and Gundam half. And that's the Venn diagram, just two separate circles.
So these boys are chatting about like, what the next step is, and then Oz sends out just some more suits. I guess I'm pretty sure
it's Oz,
right?
No,
or is
it's White Fang. It's White Fang.
Okay.
White Fang's. Okay. Yeah, it's a bunch of carriers.
I think that makes more
everyone
sense.
heads out, and Hiro stays behind, and he just tells Duo that he has to take care of something.
Mm-hmm.
The battle goes, in a word, poorly, because
it goes bad.
As a sort of, the boys don't fight well together. Literally, only Katra is the one who knows how to fight with more than, like, just yourself on your side. Because, again, he had his 40 cool friends. I wonder how those Magwanaks are doing. But everyone else is like, I'm going to take an entire unit by myself. And Katra's like, hey, don't consider. Don't do that.
Hey, maybe,
and they don't care. They don't listen.
And the other thing that I actually kind of liked about this sequence is after they do all of that, it seems like for probably the first time, they are actually struggling. Like their initial fights against the Virgos, once those came out, they were like, what the heck is going on? And when the mobile dolls first showed up, they were like, what the heck is going on? But when these things rolled out, they're like, what the heck? You get fucking blown up.
Yeah, no, and it's the cutback of like Zex has like adapted Epion's Zero system basically to the mobile dolls now.
Yeah.
So like we are not
That's the
fighting.
thing is they're talking about it, and all of them basically like, I have never seen a more mobile doll perform like this. What the fuck is going on?
What the heck going on?
And this is
What the heck come
and
after
then
6?
We go inside. Inside the spaceship Libra. Dorothy is talking to Relina, and pulls her aside, and they're like in a little side room together. It's probably Relina's quarters that she's going to be staying in. They're chatting, and Relina's like, Dorothy, I can't believe you're on board with this, even though you told me you love war and you're insane. What the fuck is going on? And Dorothy's just like, what are you gonna fucking do about it though? And then pulls out a gun and says, there's one way you could stop this war that's coming.
This is so fucking funny.
Kill your brother.
I love this shit so much.
You ever want to go fucking sicko mode?
Being baby?
Aren't you tired of being nice?
You want to go buck fucking crazy? Shoot your brother.
Shoot your brother.
Fucking your brother. Kill your fucking brother. Kill your brother.
This is... And now you see why Dorothy's the best character in the show, because she's funny. She's just funny.
This is the moment where
Dorothy
it crystallized, and I was like, okay, I get it. She is very strongly antagonizing Relina, being like, okay, so your plan for total pacifism, do nothing, isn't it to get you anywhere? You have to fucking do something. And Relina is just like, yeah, but you don't get peace by assassinating
Fuck you,
people.
think about what you've done.
Locks her in the
Anyway,
room.
beep boop boop, locked.
You're grounded.
She's like slamming against the metal door.
It's just so... Yeah, and she's like, shit, I think she locked me in here.
Fuck, this show's good. I hate it. I was just thinking the show sucks, and now it's good again.
Yeah, you're back on board. See, that's how they win you over with Dorothy Catalonia. And she's just like, Relina, I'm going to lock you in here until the battle's over so you can see what happens.
I fucking hate Dorothy so much, but I get it now.
Yeah.
I still don't like her, but I get
I
it.
100% just like spiked so hard on that cackle because I was like looking at my mic when I did it.
Next up, Milliard is talking to Cans again. And he's just saying, yeah, we're going to do a war of attrition with the dolls because Gundam pilots, they're little boys. The dolls, they don't need Gatorade and snacks between battle to refuel. They're good to go. They can just keep on fighting forever.
They don't need orange juice and apple slices.
This fucking Noid comes into the hangar with the battle with like ants on a log for them.
Speaking of, Hiro is in the hangar. He's actually not out on the battlefield, and he is just kind of searching through some like files, some discs, and he's like in the Gundam's cockpit going through some stuff. And if you look, the discs he's holding onto actually say like I think W0 on them, which is a little touch because that's the first actual nod you get as to what he's doing.
Yeah.
And the Gundam kind of makes a noise, and he looks at the Gundam, which is its eye lit up. And he says something back to it. He's like, yeah, I know, buddy, or something like that. And it's just like,
Hiro, you're taking my soul out of me.
That's a new one for this show. The only other person who's ever talked to his Gundam is Wu-Fei, and his Gundam has never given any indication
of like an actual response or like understanding.
Yeah. This was fucking weird.
It's fucking weird.
This was Katra taking the fucking glowing yellow energy out of Hero levels of weird.
We regroup in the break room again.
Yeah, and then
Wu-Fei and Sally like want to take Libra down.
Everyone immediately rises. They're like, oh yeah, he's gonna try to run out of like fuel and food and supplies. And
anyway, go fight, kids.
Yeah, that's probably a pretty good plan.
Like, as they get ready for battle, Hiro goes up to Katra. And he's like, hey, Katra, here's some floppy disks. The Zero System is contained within. Go off, buddy. And Katra's like, please, God, please
He's
don't.
Like, hey, do I have to?
Hiro, please don't do this to me.
How big?
Please say you're joking.
How big is the file size of the Zero System? Oh, because if it can fit onto just a couple floppy disks, that shit can drive you insane.
Well, think about it. So in the third episode...
Last time I was something in the show, I got
fair
really
enough,
mad.
Fair enough. But in the third episode, Katra like disables the Zero System, and it is just like a little black box, so there's not a lot there.
God, that's so bizarre.
Because to me, I've always considered it as like this giant thing that has to be set up until that explicit moment of being like a little bit of code.
Yeah.
Because it seems like it does so much, it shouldn't be It feels like it shouldn't
That's small.
be.
It shouldn't be that fucking small.
I mean, according to my phone, it's about
like a half
388 megabytes because that's how big Twitter is.
Oh my god.
So
You know,
my God.
you know what I just
You know.
realized? The thing I was like thinking about the Zero Suit is the Inhuman systems from IBO. Like that's kind of the vibe I was
Y'all
taking
know
with it.
Y'all know how there's a website and it's free to use, and you go on it and you get angry.
That's the
And
Zero system.
how when people engage with the Zero system, say, "Show me my enemy." I think the Zero system is Twitter.
It's Twitter. I've been saying this is what I've been saying the whole time. It's Twitter. Gets you real fucking mad. Oh Lord, show's good again.
I'm losing my.
So Hiro just like tells Katra, "You've used it before, so you'll be fine a second time. Like you need to be the leader here. I'm gonna be busy with Epion." And he's Katra. The top secret code to activate the Zero system is 0.
It's so fucking funny. I will say though, the exchange between them is touching because Hiro's like, "Listen, clearly we need to work together, and you are the only person who can unify us like that. If you have access to this, you can give us commands on the battlefield that help us turn the tides." Like Hiro's, it's not me. I don't care if I'm the main character. This is your fucking moment. And it's good because Katra's like, I don't know if I can handle that again, because he literally flashes back to last time he was using the Zero system.
Katra, you're baby. You can do this.
The flashback is him like almost taking out the colony. It's not
Yeah.
Him almost fucking annihilating
Remember the good
a colony.
times you had with the Zero system? Meanwhile, as this is all happening in Libra, we get another Char's counterattack fucking analog, because it's similar to the scene when Char is kind of training Quest in the Alpha Zero using
Yes.
the bits, because he just puts a big fucking helmet on Dorothy and is like, "All right, girl, you're in charge of all of our dolls for this battle."
Guess what? We got our first VR rig, baby.
Dorothy, don't play Beat Saber. We have a war to fight.
Beat Saber, Dorothy?
This is so. This came. What the? Why?
Out of nowhere.
Why do we
Literally,
need...
it comes from nothing. There is no
This
reason. There is no established reason that this was how this was going to work up until this point.
Because I'm justifying it in my head. I'm like, oh, maybe Tubarov made this to be able to control the mobile dolls. No, but his whole thing was like, fuck humans. It's all about mobile dolls. They can think for themselves. How? When was this developed? Who developed? Is this like? Just say that. Give me a throwaway line of Milliardo's like, oh yeah, the Gundam scientist had this laying around. Let's use it. I don't know. Dorothy has a cool hat and it can control the mobile dolls. And if I think about it any longer, I'm gonna get affected by the Zero system.
It is a funny
Yes,
VR
man.
headset. We like to see it. The Gundam heads out and they split it off immediately. Just into, oh, I'm taking this group, you're taking
They all
that
dip
group.
out,
Let's
and
do it.
Katra's like, "Hey,
And,
hey, whoa, hey,
we-
hey,
yeah.
no."
He can't stop them fast enough.
It's fucking tremendous.
And
Um,
for like the first time, they do kind of start getting the ass beat.
yeah.
And then we
It's
find
really
out
cool
Dorothy's
to actually watch.
fun VR set is what, she's controlling the mobile dolls with like this Zero system attunement, I guess, something along those lines. Doesn't matter. The important thing is when you're on the field, so is Epion.
The boys are fighting.
Yes.
It's so good. I love watching these two fight.
It's like
It's so
it's
fucking
fucking
good.
it's fucking
There's this
sick as
moment
hell. It's
where
great. I
before
love
they
it.
really clash too, they're just flying, barreling at high speed toward one another, and they Blue Angels like fucking swerve at the last
just
moment,
chicken.
and the camera cut to this flash of blue and this like slow mo
Yes.
moment as they pass by each other.
It's so
It's
good.
really
Gosh, it's
really
great.
cool.
And they're fighting, and like their battle, Hero and Zex, or in Miliardo, he's not Zex anymore. Hero and Miliardo. It's not really anything, right? Because like the whole thing here is Katra activating Zero system in this moment of desperation. he starts giving orders, and it's just funny. Like, you'd think that he'd get this really, like, elaborate plan. He just says, Wu-Fei, charge into the enemy. Everyone else, shoot where Wu-Fei used to be. And it just works so well. It is, like,
funny
this
because
such
it
a
does start turning the tides, too. And Dorothy's like...
Almost immediately.
I don't get it. What the fuck is happening? What is going on?
This really sick moment where they both start to realize, they're like, wait a minute, like, someone's in charge on the other end. And eventually the screen cuts where it's Dorothy, like the top half of the screen is Dorothy with the pink screen surrounding her, and Contra with the yellow screen surrounding him. And Dorothy's like, Contra winner!
Yeah, because Dorothy tops her bottoms.
I'm just smiling and nodding.
I've been murdered.
Like, Dorothy's like, Contra winner!
I really want to go
like,
through
Dorothy
the
Catalonia
Discord channel.
I love it. It's fucking so sick. God, this show is good.
It fucking rips. It's so good. And that's the thing is, like, they have this realization, and Dorothy immediately throws off the headset. She's like, okay, well, there's someone out there who's calculating my moveset and playing against it, so I need to outplay that. And so she runs onto the bridge Libra.
Just a reminder,
fire
this
the
shit's
fucking
still
Libra
busto.
cannon. And where are they going to fire it? Yeah, and she specifically says to fire it on Peace Million, too.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where I think this episode really shines, because this is fucking tense.
Yeah.
Like, all of the Gundam fighters are on the field. Noin realizes what's happening and is like, we need to move
like, if we move that fast, we'll burn the engine out.
And Howard's
she's like, okay, would you rather die?
That fast. Like,
Yeah, like, there's a bit of a trade-off here.
And yeah,
let's be smart here. It's only after Libra fires, it only takes, like, barely any damage, and it's like it's the internals from the engine overloading, and that's when Miliardo's like, Hero, I have to go, and he just flies away to clean up Dorothy's mess.
Yeah. And then Hero just lets him leave, and then he gets like a readout from the zero system, and he's like, Zex, we don't you don't have a future. Is that what Epion
Zex,
on you?
the zero system told me that you're a suck-ass loser who can't fight good.
Shut up.
Is it wrong?
Zex, the wings told me that you are a
Zex,
shard.
I put your name in the zero system, and it just came out with one letter. L. Oh, God. This... it's fun.
That's Death Note. Hang on.
Write that one down real quick.
That joke is going to come back, and it's be funny later after you sat on it for a bit.
I haven't seen Death Note, but
just think about it. I need you to hold that out. Max,
I'm holding it.
I'm
I'm a podcaster. I'm used to holding L's. Shall we talk about episode 45?
Let's move into episode 45. Signs of a final battle. So Oz gears up for the final conflict against White Fang in space. They're prepping on an old, burnt-out Greece satellite. Most of the Earth nation's forces, commanded by Trays, are now in space. So the fight's gonna happen, and it's gonna happen in space. We do see a familiar face, being Hildy Shaker, sneaking on board the spaceship Libra. She sits in there, steals a bunch of data, and kind of in the process, she actually meets another friend of the Gundam pilots who she's never met. It just so happens to be Relee's craft. Hildy kind of meets with Relina, talks for a little bit, and Relina's like, you should go, you should escape. She does. Hildy breaks out of Libra in kind of a dramatic fashion. She busts out the side of it with a Taurus. Libra ends up sending troops after her. A battle ensues, and in the process, we see a revitalized Mercurius and Veiate using the battle data of Hero Troa. Hildy manages to somehow survive all of this, despite all the flags that she was putting up, and passes along the information she gathered to Duo, who passes along Hero that Relina is alive and on Liana. The boys are back in town, some people are saying.
They're back! They're back. I sure hope they make it to the end of the episode.
After this.
Oh no.
It is.
Oops.
Oopsie.
They're so fresh and shiny. It's like got a
funny
good
that
fresh
they
coat of
don't
paint
even
on
make
them.
it to the end of the
Okay,
episode. They're just like, hey, do you remember these extremely powerful suits? By the way, they
you know what it is? You know what it is? It's a reference to hit video game series Dark Souls, where bosses in the early game will become regular enemies in the late game to prove how powerful the player has become. What I'm saying is that the Mercurius and the Vaiit are the Taurus and Capra demon of Gundam Wing.
I'm going to quit the
fucking damn
podcast.
it.
So, the Peace Million has found some cool space wreckage. They're docked, they're repairing, they're doing their thing. Howard's kind of like mad at everyone for working on their suits and not like resting up, but they don't care. Katra hands the floppy disks back to Hiro, and he was like, I don't need Zero anymore. I'm normal now. And Hiro's like, fuck yeah, dude.
And then Duo and Katra.
Well, but before that, Duo tells Hiro's like, hey, Katra's fine not using the Zero system, and you might be able to master it, but like, be careful. And Hiro's like, yeah, I'll be careful. And Duo's like, what the fuck? Did you just take my advice?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
He actually agreed with me.
It's a really
Such
cute
a good
moment. Let's see.
This is where we get the information that Trey's and fortifying in outer space on like a resource satellite like C2 or something along those lines. It's something you've never heard of that's been there the whole time, and it's fine.
Honestly, that's fine because they just say, yeah, it's like a stripped out resource satellite that like they can use as like a sort of forward operating base. I kind of liked that they showed it off just because, again, yeah, it makes sense. What do you do when the resource satellite's empty? You're not going to launch it into Earth like some funny blonde guy would do.
Yeah, the thing I like about it is it was a resource satellite for Earth. I think it's later on, but see like a readout. Libra is way the hell away from Earth because, hey, it was built on the moon. Makes sense.
Yeah.
This resource satellite is orbiting much closer to Earth. So it's way easier for Oz to get their forces into orbit and onto that satellite because it's so close. So it's nice that some of that lines up and makes sense. Like,
It makes a lot of sense as a base of operations, for sure.
Yeah. As we hear this, we kind of get a short scene back on Earth where like a big old shuttle launches. It's, the sixth shuttle that they've launched carrying Oz's forces. Trey's gets the intel and he's, preparing for battle, and he just gives a short little address to his men telling them that we're going to fight for peace and order. I'm the good guy. This will,
I hate this man.
We'll
I know
fucking
I've said this
see.
before. I still hate this man. I'm excited to see.
Shit, I can finish a show after these episodes, huh?
Yep.
God damn. Well, except for Endless Waltz, but we'll get there when we get there. We see Libra's also preparing for battle. They're sending out shuttles carrying as many dolls as they can to battle. But there's a little shuttle going into Libra. Who could it be?
Yeah, we hear a familiar voice. I like
It's
this moment
Hildy!
very much. It's a good little reveal. She's just like doing her own thing, quite literally.
It's cool to see her again. I missed her.
On the interior.
I missed her!
Yeah, Hildy fucking rules. On the inside of Libra, Cans thinks the other Gundams should be destroyed. He's like, Gundam is our Gundam. It is our symbol for our revolution, which means there can't be other Gundams. Because if other Gundams stand for something, that means people will have other ideology they can follow. And Miliardo, Cans is like, okay,
I'm
so
with
we gotta
you so far.
blow up the other Gundam, gotta do all this shit. And Miliardo just kind of looks at him. He's like, all right, fuck it, you're in charge then. I don't care.
Yeah,
and walks away.
He's done. He's gonna take a nap.
It's just so fucking great. And then Dorothy walks in.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, no, Dorothy talks to him later. Never mind. Ignore that. Dorothy's walking Relina around the hangar here instead.
Mm-hmm.
Dorothy's like fucking riding high right now. She's like high on the fumes of war, which is probably just like gasoline.
She's
but
just, it's
fine.
too much CO2. She'll be fine later.
Yeah. She's like, are you worried about Miliardo? And fucking...
What a stupid
of course she's
fucking
worried
question,
about Miliardo. It's the reason she's here. Hildy hacks a floppy disk on Libra, the Death Star plans that the Bothan spies died to give. She has them. And she's sneaking around the hangar, and she kind of like is eavesdropping on the girls as she's like behind a corner of a different like mobile suit's foot or whatever.
Yeah, Dorothy is showing Relina, Mirkris, and Vay.
Our friends, they're here! Yay!
Look at these fun little robots. We just built them again, but they're different this time.
They're
special.
Dun, dun,
And
dun,
not
dun,
only that, but they have the entire accumulated battle data from their use while Hiro and Roa were their pilots. And then Relina has this moment where she looks at this mobile suit and then just like sees Hiro superimposed
so
over
funny.
it.
Which is not the last time this happens in this episode.
I
It's
know,
all
I
very
love it. It's such
strange.
a silly scene.
Hildy does overhear all of this, and Dorothy's just like, she's so excited, and she just kind of like skips off somewhere, and Relina's just looking at these massive weapons like, this fucking sucks. And then Hildy's just like, she literally walks up behind Relina and then just kind of like subtly is like
that's the end
so
of the
how do you know
scene.
the Gundam
It's really
pilots?
funny.
Hildy's really bad at
so this is
espionage.
no,
It's
she
like
fucking sucks.
very funny.
This is a scene I was talking about earlier where Kins is still on the bridge and
Yes.
Dorothy walks up and he's located the Peace Million with the dolls. He's ready to attack, and Dorothy's like, "Hey, your plan sucks, shit, dude."
She's basically telling him that it's entirely futile and it's not going to work, and he shouldn't because it's going to be a waste of their military, their resources. And you're kind of getting the picture of like, oh, I get why Milliard doesn't say anything. He just didn't want to fucking argue with this guy because this like Kansas like digging heels in. He's like, no, this is gonna work. I promise. It'd be awesome. Don't worry.
And like fucking he he wants to send the Virgos after it. I'm sorry, Dorothy. Shit, no, fuck. There's a lot of characters here.
You got this.
I think we cut back. Relina and Hildy are chatting.
Yes.
Hildy's like, I'm not strong enough to help right now, and Relina's
like, I'm pretty sure
you're weak.
You think you look pretty strong to me. Keep it up.
You broke into the Death Star.
Yeah.
You're fine.
I think specifically the wording they use is Hildy says she's not strong enough to fight. Which I think is a really smart delineation. And she's like, I'm not strong enough to fight. Like she knows duo.
Yeah.
She's like I can't do that.
Yeah, and she's like genuinely doing like a really fucking important thing right now.
Yeah. And she
it's cool to see her be like, also, I know Duo is going to be pissed at me for this.
Yeah. It's great. And like, she leaves and Verlina's like, oh, I'm really into Peacecraft. You go for it. She steals a carrier and leaves, and Cans wants to send some Virgos after it, and Dorothy's like, let's send the Mercurius and the Vaiit out to get her. A little draw out the Gundams that way.
Just some overkill,
extremely
don't worry.
so. Like, if it doesn't draw the Gundams out, you're having your two, like,
and then
best robots for this fucking carrier.
I know.
That you know nothing about.
One of many, frankly, favorite moments in this episode. We bounce back over Million, and four out of 5 of the Gundam boys are playing chess.
Yep.
Realistically, it's just Tra and Duo, but like Katra's helping somebody, and Wu Fei just shows up and like moves
and
up
just
for
does
Tra.
a move for somebody.
Yeah.
And Wu Fei's like, don't you know offense is the best defense? And then fucking fucks off immediately.
Terrible.
We get a notification that there are some troops being released from Libra. So the boys are like, all right, time to suit up. And then we get some sick as hell combat where like the boys are working together as a team. We see Curious and Vaiit activate as they try to intercept Hildy, like on the far end of who she does end up getting shot down. And she sends out like a distress signal, and Duo picks it up, hears her voice, and recognizes it only based that because it's an audio-only transmission. And he's like, I need to go get her now. And I think it's Troa.
It was
Katra. It might be
Katra.
Katra, who like, they're like, don't worry, we'll handle things
like,
here. You go.
So he goes off.
It's a stellar
Hildy's
moment.
is getting totally fucked up by these things. And right before she would have been shot down by the Vaiit cannon, Duo flies in and blocks it with the Death Sight's cool, like, wing cowling thing.
Literally so last second.
Yeah. And he's just gonna fucking 1v2 them, no problem. Hildy tells him that the suits are programmed with the Gundam pilot data, and this is when he looks up and we see the fucking
it's so good.
half opacity Hero and Troa faces on them.
Yeah, they like fly forward in a formation, and they're like superimposed over top of their respective mobile suits. It's pretty good. And then he makes fucking short work of them. He slices and
so much for the
goddamn
threat.
dices. I know, it's unbelievable. And then he says the sickest fucking line after he destroys them. What does he say? He says, they're just dolls.
It's
to me.
so
Next
good.
time, you mind.
Nothing personnel, kid.
And like the way he kills both of them is so cool. It's like it's like an attack I don't think we've seen him do. It's like a backslash for the first one where it goes through I think it's the whatever the blue one is, I think the Vaiit.
Yeah,
right?
he gets the Vaiit first.
Yeah.
and that just blows up, and then he does like the backhand through. It's so sick.
It's so fucking
rad.
This is one of those moments that I was talking about where there's like a lot of detail on the suits while this
They're nice and
action is
greebled.
happening. Like, there's this
Don't you
dramatic
fucking greeble
close-up
me.
of the Death Sight's head. It's fucking good. And then he actually rescues Hildy and shares the data with him. He brings her back to Piece Million. Literally all of the other mobile dolls have already been destroyed, so the
Hans
battle
is
is
like,
over.
how could this have happened?
Yeah, he's like, how could my perfect plan with the mobile dolls have failed? And then he like looks in the mirror and realizes he like too brave with a giant hat that says on it. This is where we see Hildy back on Piece Million. She's like in a hospital bed. She's being, taken to a med bay, something along those lines.
I'm surprised she didn't die, honestly.
Genuinely, like she was. Like, I did not think Duo was gonna make it to her in time. I thought she was gonna transmit him the data and then just explode. Like, I really thought that's how it was gonna end. For real. Duo kind of catches up with Hiro and he's like, hey, by the way, I was talking to Hildy and you're not gonna believe who she ran into over on Libra. It was Relina. And it was like, really? Like, Relina's on Libra.
Yep.
No kidding.
Yeah, God,
and then the two of them, Relina and Hiro, just kind of think about each other.
This is like, we're at the fucking precipice. Something's gonna happen with the next 4 episodes.
Yeah.
I don't know what, but something.
It's certainly something.
It's certainly going to be something.
Operation Meteor Count, for anyone who cares, which is me and Neil alone. It is 0.
Aw, beans.
Shocker.
What about the Operation Nova? Gee, what about the Operation Nova count?
Oh, for those people, first of all, I love you and I applaud you. It's also 0.
Ah, fuck.
God damn it.
Well, maybe you can.
So I think can take a step to pull the curtain aside. We can move beyond Toon World.
You're going to love this. Trust me. Beyond Toon World!
Whoa!
Let's fucking go.
So I'm going to be talking about Brian Drummond, also known as the voice Sex Marquis.
Let's fucking go.
This is, gotta say, one of a few voices he's done, just in general, over like 700 credited roles. One of a few voices he's done hasn't been dubbed by the Ocean Distribution Group in a later like recast. There's one that I'll talk about because I think they picked a really good voice for it. Anyways, for starters, even He-Man masked the universe as a few people, but I wanted to know one because the name is funny, and the name is Stinkor. He is in Mucha Lucha as Sonic Sumo and Double Ninja. This is a weird ass show.
I remember that fucking weird ass show.
Seed
Whatever.
As Andrew Waltfield, and I think he was in Destiny also as Waltfield, but as Waltfeld, and he was in Destiny as another character that I didn't write
Tremendous.
down. But they've got purple hair, so they're an anime character. He was Garu in Puka, or I think it's right. Pucca. It's a popular children's show.
Yeah, it'd be Puka.
Yeah. He's like 3 dozen, 4 dozen voices in a little show called My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic. Shout outs to the fact that he's about 2 characters in each of the following: Lego Ninjago, basically anything Go Ninjago, Slug Terra, Max Steel, and the Littlest Pet Shop. So he's typically plays the voice of Psycho, but he is credited with a bunch of other minor characters as well. As you can imagine, with 3 dozen roles in My Little Pony, he just does a lot of his voices for shit. In Star Wars, specifically the Yoda Chronicles, he is the voice of a few people, including Watto and Jabba the Hutt.
Hell yeah.
In Transformers Beast Machines, he's Jetstorm. In Transformers Cybertron, he is Jetstorm and Jolt. In Spider-Man Unlimited, he is the voice of Ed Brock and Venom. Remember how I told you to hold that L? Well, I'm going to shed some light on that situation because he's the voice of Ryuk in Death Note.
Oh, he's Willem Dafoe? Fuck yeah!
Hell yeah!
He's the voice of Ryuk in Death Note. He's also a couple of demons in Inuyasha. One I forgot to write down, but he is notably Jiro and Kagero in Inuyasha, which are the 4th and 5th, respectively, iterations of Naraku. Anyone who cares. Kagero lives inside Jiro.
I'm nodding my head sagely.
The same? It's fine. The important part is, like so many others, he was on Inuyasha.
Good.
Speaking of characters who were in Inuyasha, he was in Gundam 00 as Joyce B. Moreno, which
that's a name
of the goddamn season. He is also in Gundam 00 as Homer Kagiri and Brian Stegmeyer.
Great.
Most importantly, he is the name of one of the best named characters who, from what I remember, doesn't matter, but best named character in Gundam 00, Bring Stabity.
That
you can
Some of these names, I can't.
You can just name a guy Bring Stabity and it's fucking fine. No one will stop you.
I would like to mention, in Sonic Underground, he is the voice of Knuckles.
Oh, Knuckles the Enchilada.
In most Slone media, he is Alan Shezar. I'm not sure on the pronunciation of that. Shezar?
I think it's Shezar.
This is the one I wanted to talk about is this one, though, because eventually I think Slone was remastered, and they decided to go with Sonny Strait as the voice of Alan. Which, like, you're like, oh, Sonny Strait, that name's familiar. Yeah, he was Krillin in Dragon Ball Z. So you're like, oh, they went from this really deep voice to, like, Krillin, that can't be good. I listened to these comparisons, and Sonny Strait does a good job as Alan. Like, he kind of mimics, like, Brian Drummond's voice really well. It's bizarre. And then closing things off, Dragon Ball Z.
Let's go.
He's the voice of Yajirobe. He is the voice of Fortune Teller Baba. He's the voice of Pecan. And he is the voice of the Clown Prince himself, Vegeta.
Prince
of all Saiyans!
But wait, there's more. He is also Baby Vegeta and Vegeta.
So all the Vegetas
and more importantly, he is the voice of the Fusion Vegito. And
well, he's half, right? I think they combined him and then the Goku guy for it.
Correct. But the other thing I wanted to know is, after Vegeta got redubbed, obviously, there is a little nod
I love
to
this.
Brian
Is my
Drummond's
favorite
role.
trivia ever. It's so good.
In Dragon Ball Super, during the Clone saga, where Vegeta gets like an alien symbiote that turns into him or whatever. Fuck Super, who cares? But that's Brian plays the voice of Clone Vegeta, which is very good.
Quite good.
It is.
You got Chris Sabat and Brian Drummond going at it. It's the fucking, like, I watched the Dragon Ball Super sub, but I watched the dub for that episode.
Yeah, it does fucking rule.
It's
think
so good.
I think that's everything that I wanted to shout out. But if you do happen to go to his behind the page, there are so many roles. There's stuff from like Class of the Titans, and probably a bunch of other media you've never heard of. But like he is I just really want to drive home. He has voiced like children's childhoods. He has voiced hundreds of children's show characters. He was in like Hot Wheels Battle 5. He was a couple Toa in some Bionicle stuff. Like he was really everywhere, and he kind of still is. Like, he's in a decent amount of stuff ongoing. I think he's credited in a role of a show that aired in 2022.
Oh wow,
he's like really
goddamn
brand new this year. He's still going.
Get it.
So shout out to Brian Drummond. He's just wonderful voice to listen to, even when it's insane, and he's voicing a snake Ninjago.
I know that.
So
I know that
fucking
guy.
good.
So that's Brian Drummond, and it has been an honor to talk about it because I've been waiting for so long.
I'm snooting so hard.
Doing the research for this, I was just like, have I done this before? Because this all feels really familiar. And it's because every time
I'll do this later.
I would pull up his page.
Oh,
and
that's so good.
There's too many fuck voices.
We got
I can't do this.
Yeah, I mean, it's only fitting since we did.
We got there.
Miliardo's English voice. We're doing his Japanese voice next week, so that's going to be approximately half the episode runtime.
God.
That's
We're gonna talk about Dio. It's finally happening. You probably already heard this fucking Beyond Tuned if you listen to Pod Agreed, because he was the bad guy in season 2 of GX.
That's okay.
Yeah, it was Dio. He did the tarot cards and everything. He said Zawardo a lot. It was Dio.
That's Dio.
Toe to tip. That's a Dio. Hey, thank you all for listening. We've made it to the end.
Holy shit, we did it.
We did it. I think we remembered how to do this pretty well.
It only took me an extra 20 minutes to figure out what the fuck Audacity was yelling at me about.
We
It's
made
fun
it
to
there.
get out there.
Plugs. Let's do plugs now. I think that's what we do next.
Maybe.
Who would like to start?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. I've been Julia. Really, the only place you can find me online is Twitter. I'm at the Crown Jewels. That's JULES with 2 underscores after it. Outside of that, feel free to hit us up on the WoW Cool Discord, which is linked in the Twitter account that somebody else will talk about.
I'm Jared, or Jay. You can find me at PagliacciProtoJ on Twitter. Subject to change, the next couple years or so, depending on how I feel. You can also find me if you look nebulously into a eye and blink twice. And you can go to my website, which I've said in previous episodes. So that's your ARG for this one. Max, it's on you.
Hi, I'm Max Bajillion on Twitter. I have a lot of other shows. There's Pod of Greed, the world's number one Yu-Gi-Oh podcast sponsored by Kappa Corp. That's at Pod of Greed Cast on Twitter. There is Slappers Only, a video game music showdown podcast at Slappers Only Pod on Twitter. And Nevermind the Trollocs, a limited run Wheel of Time, Amazon Jeff Bezos Wheel of Time. I almost said anime. It's not. It's just a regular TV show. What if it was, though? Imagine.
It's a real-life anime.
That's at NVM the Trollocs on Twitter. Someone might have said it already. Wow Cool Podcast on Twitter for this show.
There you go. I knew somebody had to say it.
Discord links are in every episode description and the Twitter header. Come hang out. Post your gunpla. Talk about bullshit with us. Go to noisepace.xyz to find this and many more podcasts. Thanks, Matt GameCube. You're the one who runs that whole thing. And finally, Julia.
Yes.
Do you remember? You need to tell us. What's the robot of the week?
Edward Elric's arm.
Fuck yeah. Fuck his leg. We don't give a shit
give
about
a
his
fuck about
leg.
that
It's his
one.
arm that we care about. Get that auto mail. God. Full Metal's a good show. Hey, tune in next week for the finale of the Wing anime. Tune in the week after that to hear us talk about Endless Waltz, only about a month and a half late for Christmas.
Cry
Fine.
live on air.
I was busy.
And tune in the week after that to hear us talk about the series as a whole, rank our favorite robots,
that episode's gonna
answer the
piss so many
mailbag.
people off. Oh, I'm gonna make so many people mad. I can't wait to
cannot
get to
wait.
put the Zion S tier of
We're
Gundam
gonna
Wing.
fucking fight. As we always say at the end of every episode, war is bad.
Wow.
Cool robot.
Bye.
We did it. Bye.
We did it.